Your job is to grow your business.
Entrepreneurship is a team sport.
You can't get to the next level in business without letting go of certain responsibilities.
If you're not communicating correctly about the end goal and the process and the procedure, you got a big problem, even though both of you want to succeed.
I think one of the biggest risks in business is that we let everything stay up here.
It's not working in the business, but working on the business.
That having a business playbook is the differentiator. It's what helps you get from here to there.
A blueprint, a format on this is what has worked.
It's a way to build consistency into your culture and your operations so that your business can grow beyond just the small team that you're working with today.
It has to be done yesterday.
But if you want to get your business out of your brain and you want your company to have the highest likelihood of succeeding, you need to document things that are found in the business playbook. Hey everyone, I'm Chris Ronzio, founder and CEO of Trainual, the business playbook software. And today, I'm going to be teaching you about the business playbook. In this first introductory video, we're going to be teaching you about the concept of the business playbook, what it is, and how it can help you scale your business to the next level. Although I'm going to talk a lot about entrepreneurs and founders of a business, this is still totally applicable if you're a manager, a team leader, if you're in HR, if you're in operations, if you're anyone that's working to make your business better and operate more consistently, you'll get a ton of value out of this. Throughout the course, you'll also get to hear from my friend Daymond John. You probably know him from Shark Tank or FUBU, the global empire that he built around the world, but we'll get to hear the behind-the-scenes operational stories that really relate to having a business playbook for your company. So maybe you've read my book, The Business Playbook, already, or maybe you haven't gotten around to it yet. But what we want to do with this course is teach you the most important, impactful elements of how to build a business playbook inside your company, of how you can set the expectation for your team and make sure that you're all aligned and moving in the same direction. There comes a time in building every business where you have some kind of foundation and you're thinking about how big you want to grow it. You know, maybe you've started off and you've got a few friends that you're working with in the business, or it's you and a small team and you're all in the same room and you can pretty easily communicate with each other. But as you grow bigger than just that small group in that small room, you start to have to lay the foundation of what does this company expect of not just the people that are here today, but the people that will be here in the future. How do you make sure that your culture stays alive? How do you make sure that the new people that come into the business operate by the same set of values and the same set of expectations that you maybe haven't written down or communicated in the past? And then how do you hand off and delegate work that you expect other people to do, and you expect them to do it as well as you've done it? You need a consistent set of instructions, and that's what we're tackling through the business playbook. It's a way to build consistency into your culture and your operations so that your business can grow beyond just the small team that you're working with today. If you don't set the expectation, if you don't be clear about what you're trying to do, you get to this 20, 30 person mark and it's really hard to scale the business. What happens at that point?
You spend most of your time, on a hamster wheel. I mean, if you think about any relationship you've had personally, whether a friend or whether, a relationship and, a couple, and I assumed that we were going to grow up and have a great life together and move to the suburbs, and my wife assumed that, no, we were going to travel the world together. Well, what happens when you both assume you're doing the right thing, but you're doing something else? Well, you start having a lot of lack of communication or wrong communication. It creates conflict. Yeah. Assumptions create conflict.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And so having a business playbook is a way of preempting assumptions. The right time to start working on a business playbook is first, you've got a company that you're excited about, that you're going to build for at least a little while before you take the exit ramp. If you're ready to parachute out of your company right now and you don't even think this company is going to survive, don't put the work into your business playbook. Next, you've got to have a product and service that customers are demanding. That means you've got sales and marketing working. People are knocking on your door. They want what you're selling. And now your operations need to scale up. A business playbook helps you define your operations. It helps you grow your team to perform those operations. But if you don't have the marketing and sales demand yet, go work on that. And then the next piece is you've got to have a team that's at least, I would say 3, 4, 5 people. You're starting to carve out the different departments, and you're ready to start adding headcount to those teams. That's when you go from one person on a team to 3 people, to 5 people, to 7 people. And that growth, that osmosis of information is when you really want to lock down, here's how our company does it. That's when the playbook becomes really important. Assuming you check all of those boxes, the question I have for you is why create your playbook? You've really got to understand your why. Are you opening a new location? Are you trying to double sales? Do you want to sell your business at some point? Do you have some other milestones that you're trying to hit? Understand your why and communicate that why to the team around you, because you're going to need their help in order to roll this out and to document the knowledge of your company. So get clear on your why. When you think about a business playbook, a training manual, an operations manual, a handbook, whatever you call it, what goes inside? What do you think it's important for a company to capture about how they work?
The operation, the environment emotionally, what they're going to go through and face, what is expected of you, how are challenges, questions resolved, what does your workspace look like? There are a lot of things. It is the environment, and it is the guidelines of the environment, and then it's the guidelines of the company, and this thing moves and changes, it grows according to time, according to people, and according to, anything else that happens.
A business playbook is a collection and record of the knowledge, experience, and structure of your business. Knowledge is everything that every person in your company knows, all in one place. The experience is the collective living of being in your business, the stories, the culture, the things that makes your business unique. And then, of course, the structure is how you're organized, the customers that you serve, the departments, teams, and roles that make up your team as it is today. A business playbook has 4 main elements. First, your company's profile. Your profile is the orientation-related content, like your story, your history, your mission, and your vision. Next is your people. That's really your roles and responsibilities, your org chart, and how people relate to one another in the company. Then you've got your policies. Your policies can be your cultural norms or the rules. It's the expectations that you set for the people that work at the business. And finally is your processes. And your processes are those step-by-step how-to guides to consistently do the work that you want done in your company. You don't need a business playbook for your business to be successful, but it's a massive shortcut. Imagine trying to cook a recipe without the written instructions. You could be a good chef and put something together, but if you have 10 people cooking that same recipe, no way do the results all come out the same. That's the magic of a business playbook. It helps add a recipe to running your business. You can't get to the next level in business without letting go of certain responsibilities. If you do all of the things tomorrow that you're doing today, you have no space for growth. And so part of what the business playbook enables you to do is to put the instructions in place for your people when you're not there. How do they make decisions? How do they operate? Can they maintain your best practices? All of that goes into your playbook so that when you're not there, the machine keeps running. I'm sure you've seen companies come across companies that when you get under the hood, they do things a million different ways.
Yeah.
Are those companies even investable?
Generally, they're not investable, or they are investable. Listen, everything's a price. But now I need a very large chunk because it's a risk factor.
Yeah.
The more I have to invest and the more my money is at risk, the more I need to take to secure it. But all you had to do was invest in that education to have a system. And I understand it's not that easy in business in general, but coming up with a guide is not creating a new product. That is not, oh my God, we need R&D. That is coming up with just some pure communication.
You already heard about the 4 Ps, your company's profile, people, policies, and processes, but let's dig a little deeper into each one. So first, your company's profile is kind of like if you had a dating profile or a social media profile. If someone were to discover your business, what is everything they need to know that positions your company? Usually this starts off with your founding story, why you exist. Did you have an insight in a former job that led you to create this business? Did you set out to solve some big problem that's identified in your mission or your vision statement? Why should people come to work and why should they care? Next, you'll talk about your culture. Maybe your values, your core values that you want to identify as behaviors or ways that your people show up to be a part of the same culture. You'll talk about your customer's persona. Who are they? How big are they? How often do they shop with you? You'll talk about your behaviors and psychographics and demographics, your products and services and pricing. It's all of the things that your company does in a profile to establish it as unique from other businesses. Next, you've got your people. People are a huge element of the differentiation in your company. If I talk to you and a competitor in the same industry, your people is usually what makes you very unique. And those people have all different backgrounds and bios and roles and responsibilities. Your teams may be organized differently into departments and locations and squads and units and roles and different groups within the company. And then each of those people, each of those unique groups will have a certain set of responsibilities, things that you've said as a company they are accountable for in the business. That orientation of your people structure in the company is important for everyone in the business to understand as they walk in on their first day and their first week and their first month. Next, you've got your policies. Think of this like your employee handbook. These are all the written or unwritten rules maybe at your company that exist. It's the things like your cultural norms, what's okay and not okay to do in our business. How do we communicate with each other? Do we text each other, call each other? Are there certain tools that we use? Is there a dress code? Do I have to come into the office? Don't I? All of those things are the rules that you establish for your business. And then you've also got some government sponsored rules and regulations and your benefits. All of that fits within this policy section. And then finally is process. Process is where a lot of people are tempted to start when they start to write their documentation of their business. But I strongly believe that you need to first identify your profile and your culture, your people and your responsibilities, your policies and those norms, and then finally, and only then, do you get into process. Because if you can do the other three first, you're setting this foundation for all of your people to be on the same page. And in the absence of finally documented standard operating procedures, the other three elements add a lot directionally to how you want your people to operate. But the processes, that last piece, this will be the biggest part of your playbook. These are the how-tos. They're the step-by-step instructions for how you do every single thing in your business.